For many of us, spirituality is just the quest to find essence or true meaning and to really just connect with a higher consciousness.
Welcome to the Bring Me to Life podcast.
Connecting with your spirituality is very important in this life. By becoming mindful of all of that, you can realize where you are and if that is leading you to where you want to go.
Listen to the little simple things, because it's those little simple things that are going to shift you vibrationally in such a way that will prepare you to become very intuitively minded and ready to step forward on the next part of your path.
I hope you can feel the love that's inside you, that's inside me, that connects us.
Life podcast. Shannon Shine here, and I'm super excited to have a guest here to talk about all kinds of beautiful things. So, Kelsey, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yay! Hello, everyone. So yes, my name is Kelsey, Kelsey Fox Bennett Boyd, and what I do is I am an educator, a healer, and a coach, and I work with all ages of highly sensitive souls. I'm based in the New York City area, but I work long distance with folks through online courses and over the phone consults, and I offer so much love. But in essence, I offer a lot of tools to help people rewire old patterns and create their most abundant life.
Amazing. So, through living abundantly, or can you explain a little bit more about what it means to live abundant?
Yes. So this is a big passion of mine, is this idea of abundant living. And I think some people hear it and they're like, that's not a thing. Or, I think some people get turned off by it. And honestly, I think a lot of that reaction is old messaging, saying that we can't have more, or that we can't do the things or have the things that we desire most. And something that I believe passionately is that we can live a life that is filled with the things that we love, that is filled with joy, and that is authentic to us. So my specific definition of abundant living may be different than yours, may be different than every single listener on here, because part of it is just getting clear about what matters to you, and then how to actually shift your life in a way where those things are getting priority, those things are getting love and attention. And all of that enables you to start to shift from a lack mindset or from old patterns or habits into a space where you're allowing things to come to you. You're allowing your authentic truth to shine through without these blocks, without these old messages holding you back.
I love that. I think that's so important because we do deserve to feel abundant. And like you said, for that meaning, it could be something different for everybody else. Like abundant to somebody might be to have a lot of material objects. For somebody else, it might be to have a lot of love. So I think it's beautiful that you're very open to what abundant means for whoever it is that is claiming that abundance.
Absolutely.
And I think so many of us have went through times where we just felt stuck in our abundance. Like we were like, oh, it's not going to get any better than this. In fact, I'm scared it's going to get worse. Can you tell us about a time maybe you felt stuck and how you bounced back from it?
Oh my gosh, yes. In fact, when I talk about living abundantly, something that I talk about a lot is about a period in my life about 4 years ago where I felt stuck on lots of levels. I felt stuck in my relationship. We had been together for 7 years and I wanted to, kind of evolve and go to the next step, but there were these blocks and he wasn't ready. And so that felt very stuck, and it felt like my business was stuck. I was running into the same walls again and again, feeling like there weren't enough clients, there wasn't enough money. Basically, the message across the board was not enough. And it was so loud and it was so frustrating. I just felt so very frustrated. It was like, I'm doing all these things, all these good, positive things. Why am I running into this same block, this same message again and again? And it was actually at that time of my life where, and I know that your listeners get this, where when you actually shift from the frustration to being open to asking for help and actually receiving help. And it was that point in my life where teachers and messages and events and opportunities started to show up to basically highlight these underlying belief systems that were blocking me from moving forward. And this idea of not enough, and specifically in my life was not enough to commit to, was a message that I received actually in the womb and actually, from what was happening with my parents and my biological father moved out right after I was born. And there were all of these messages that I picked up unconsciously and have been running on them ever since, right? There's things we pick up super unconsciously, and they're not even intentional by our parents or by the situation, but it's just what we absorb and how we interpret it. And so I absorbed this message of that I wasn't enough to commit to. And as a result, that was what I was seeing everywhere. And once I became conscious of this, I started to rewire. I was blessed because I have this toolbox that includes a thing called Brain Gym, which is a form of educational kinesiology that reduces stress in your body and reconnects areas of your brain. And it really helps you rewire and create new patterns. And now that I had this awareness of what it was that I needed to rewire, then I created a daily self-love practice filled with healing tools, filled with these rewiring patterns and this awareness. And all of a sudden, everything changed. I found more love in my relationship than ever before. We got married. We actually had 3 ceremonies.
I love that, actually. I think about that. Sometimes I'm like, wow, she was so excited about this that you had 3 different celebrations. And I have so many questions about that, but I'll save that for a different day.
Yes. And to think that just 3 years prior, I was feeling lack. I was feeling blocked. And I think my reframing and then my giving love to myself, like giving myself what I needed, right? I wanted commitment. So I had to commit to me first. Because how we treat ourselves is how the world will treat us. That is something that I believe.
I agree.
So I started to really just focus on committing to me. And all of a sudden, my now husband was like, oh, you mean you're taken care of and I could just focus on my own healing? And all of a sudden, all the blocks disappeared, basically. So that was just one example, and then every area of my life started to expand and shift and change with all of these amazing tools that I was blessed with.
That's awesome. So you have all these tools, and you mentioned Brain Gym, which for our listeners, if you didn't check it earlier this season, Kelsey and I actually met earlier and we discussed Brain Gym and what that was all about. That's how we first connected. And I thought that was just amazing. I even took your workshop earlier this summer. If anyone's listening, you don't know about Brain Gym, definitely check that out and ask Kirk all the questions.
Totally.
So I wanted to give that shout out because you gave a lot of useful information through that podcast as well. And it was a really exciting introduction to what all you have to offer. So now you've explained living abundantly. You've explained how you've basically used this routine yourself to bring yourself out of a rut. And now you've got this offering. So tell me a little bit more about what you're doing right now.
Yes. So I am, depending on when people are tuning in, I am about to launch my Abundant Living online course. This is actually the third time that I'm running it. October 9th is the launch date, and enrollment will be open until October 30th, 2019. And this course is basically what happened, what I created after I got unstuck. It was all of the tools. It was fierce and loving boundaries. It was creating freedom and forgiveness. It was this daily self-love practice. It was becoming aware of these underlying belief systems. All of this is now built into this online course. And this is the third year that I'll be teaching it. And I love it so much. It's hard to explain how much I love it.
No, it's good to get excited about what you have to offer, because that shows how passionate you are that this method works. Even though that it just worked for you, has the ability to help so many people. And that's why you feel that excitement. You feel that collective energy building that's looking for what you have to offer.
Yes. So I created it for people like me who were feeling really stuck, who maybe feel not enough, who are highly sensitive, and who feel like they get overwhelmed easily. Basically anyone who's feeling like they're running into blocks and want to expand, want to shift their mindset, want to actually experience their most abundant life. I'm here to say it's possible, and I can give you practical tools to make those shifts in your own life.
I love that. So just to give them an idea, what are some of the things that they might learn? You don't have to go into full detail, but just give them an idea of what they might start processing through.
Yes. So, oh my goodness. So basically there's 3 months. And that's what the content is broken up into the 3 months. It runs November through January. And I know some people, when they hear that I'm doing it over the holiday season, they're like, but I'm so busy, or I'm so full. And to be honest, I feel like the holidays are the best time to receive love. It is the most likely time that you're going to fall into old patterns, that you're going to feel various levels of lack, whether it's with your family or in your relationships or financially, and to have loving support through this time to help you come back to yourself, to your values, to your desires, makes an enormous difference in your health and your well-being, and in starting the new year with a focus on what you love and what you want to create. So anyway, so it's broken up into 3 months, and each month the students will receive 3 weeks of content that comes in very easy to digest videos. And the 4th week, actually, you won't hear from me, you'll hear from a guest expert, which is really exciting. I have these amazing experts to add even more deliciousness to the course, because we go farther when we go together. And letting you hear from other women and other people who are living an abundant life and have faced their own challenges and struggles means you just receive so much more. And that's really the purpose of this entire course experience. So throughout the months, what you're going to be learning is, number one, how to become aware, like how to actually notice what's raising your energy and lowering your energy as you move throughout your life, because that will start to inform, what is working, what is of service, what is maybe needs some love or adjusting, right? So much of that first week is just about awareness. You'll also receive so many different ways to shift your mindset into more of an abundance mindset, different affirmations, simple movements and tools to help you shift the way that you're looking at the world. Because what we see will be reflected back to us, right? And then you will go into what's blocking you. So what is actually standing in your way? And so we're going to do a little bit of deep diving around what is coming up for you, what blocks are you running into, and what could they potentially be connected to. So that's the first month. The second month is all about cultivating your inner power. So we're going to build you up. I think something that has been huge in my own transformation is really nurturing myself and protecting my energy, right?
That's so key and so hard to do sometimes. Like,
oh my
you
gosh.
think you have this big routine going, you're all set, you're like, yes, life is awesome, life is abundant, and then one day something happens and one person knocks you off your game and your whole routine's like out the window, and you have to find a way to like recenter. That's nearly impossible for me sometimes. It takes weeks.
Oh, yes, yes. And so we have a whole section devoted on cultivating your power, figuring out where power exists in your body, how to maintain it, and then tools for protection. Those fierce and loving boundaries are huge, huge, energetically, physically, around your time. I'm going to provide a lot of resources around all of that. And then part of the protecting our energy and having those fierce and loving boundaries in our relationships, something that comes up that can block us from moving forward is the forgiveness piece, is holding on to the past in ways that are keeping you from actually experiencing more love and more freedom in your life. And I know this intimately. Like, there were multiple situations with family members where I needed to forgive them, because if I was not forgiving them, then I was actually still keeping myself in the past. It had nothing to do with them. Like, I was being held back.
And I realize that forgiving is so important, but I've had a lot of, I guess, viewers and listeners that have come back and they're like, I'm not ready to forgive that person. And I think it's important for people to realize there's a difference between forgiveness and holding them responsible. Like, you can still like hold somebody responsible for the actions they chose, but forgive them for what has happened because you've learned and become a better person from it. I think it's something that's like so hard for some people to separate, like if they've went through a really traumatic event.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And you know, we talked a little bit about this in the last call that I did with you, but I've experienced some traumatic events.
Yeah, you have. And you are like grounded and abundant and like stronger because of it. And it's amazing how you have bounced back from so many of those events.
Yeah, well, and I mean, and it's not like it happened overnight. And I completely agree with the idea, if you're not ready, then that's okay. I'm still going to give you all sorts of tools to help get you a little bit closer. I'm going to give you all sorts of tools for when you are ready to experiment, to be like, okay, what would this actually feel like if I released this old story? And you know, sometimes just that kind of imagination piece, just kind of like, oh, well, what if I was just imagining what that would do? Then it helps people to actually feel what it would feel like. And all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, that's what it would feel like.
Like, let's go and hop into that life now. Let's just go into that timeline because that timeline is serving me way better. Yeah, I like that theory too. It's a good thing. Like, it's a good way to live, because if you just hold on to it, you're just stuck in that same cycle of pain.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, so that's December. And then in January, it's all about sustainability. So it's like creating that daily self-love practice around your goal. And something that I didn't mention, but I will now, is that in addition to kind of the content that you receive over the 3 months, you're also going to actually get the opportunity to meet with me and your fellow peers, the fellow students in the course, live online via Zoom. So we'll get to see each other, we'll get to interact with each other. And because the content is coming out throughout each month, we get to devote the entire live time together to just supporting one another, to just checking in to see, okay, how did this month go? What came up for you? And then we're going to do some love, some brain gym, some rewiring in the moment, so that you get even more tools, even more support in making these changes and having it feel fun and having it feel supported, you know? So I'm so excited.
I love it. I love how excited you get. It just makes it even more fun. So not only are you offering this course, but you actually have another offering leading up into this course. So if people don't know you, how can they get to know you through this first offering you got going on?
Oh my goodness, yes. So on Saturday, October 5th, if you're listening in before that date, I am offering From Panic to Grace, How to Navigate Challenging Conversations. And this is a free webinar. It's about an hour long. And basically, I'm going to give you so many tools and a step-by-step process to help you feel more embodied, more in your power, more in your authentic truth as you step into really challenging conversations.
So how do people get in tune or alignment with the webinar if they're interested?
Yes, that's kelseyfoxbennett.com/panic2grace. No dashes or anything. It's just kelseyfoxbennett.com/panic2grace. And there, I have a cute little video there. You can read more testimonials about people who've worked with me around this topic. And you just enter your name and your email address. That's it. And then I will send you all of the love. If you can't come live, you will have limited access. You'll have a limited period of time where you can access the recording. So even if that specific date and time doesn't work for you, I still highly recommend grabbing these tools and these resources so that anytime you're stepping into a challenging conversation, whether it's a family member or someone you work with, that you have these resources at the ready.
I love it. So you've got the offering, you've got the webinar. Now, I know that there's a couple of us that believe in this so much, we've offered a few things towards this participation. I would love to hear more about how people can participate and get even more out of it. So I know I've offered like a 30-minute Zoom call on living your best life. So how can people win the things and what else is there going on here?
Oh my goodness. So yeah, there's so much in the course, which is why I'm like, there's so many beautiful things. So yes, as part of the Abundant Living online course, basically every time we meet live, I'm going to pull names from a hat and everybody's going to get a chance to win something. And there's going to be all these amazing prizes. So I already have my friend who is the founder of Amber Light Beauty, which is green beauty. She does these beautiful serums and things. So she's offering a giveaway. Yes, you are offering a gorgeous giveaway. I also have essential oils that I'm sharing. And some of my other friends are hopping on to share, some awesome shirts and some awesome crystals and all sorts of things. And so basically everybody who's part of the course gets a chance to win these amazing gifts. And in addition to that, I'm going to send out goodie bags and cards to everyone in the course. So, this is an online course, but I want you to receive love in the mail because that's so fun.
Everybody loves them. Yeah, everybody loves mail. Like I love sending out the packages for my workshops too. Like even if there's not a toolkit, I'm like, I just need everyone's address so I can send you a thank you for existing right now. Like thank you for being a part of this movement. Like it's the most fun part. So that's amazing.
Exactly. So you will get in the mail actual things so that you can be supported physically as well as everything that's happening online.
Yay! I love that. And I've actually given you a little special code that you get to give your students. So if you sign up, you also will get a discount on my website for jewelry and things like that too. So there's all different kinds of little extras and hidden surprises that come with this magical offering. I believe in it so much. That's why I offered the things that I did, because your energy and your vibration, you live abundantly, but you also just you just put off this beautiful, loving energy that anybody that works with you, I know, is just going to be a better person. So that's just like an amazing thing that you have about you, like being in your energy force. So I love that you were here to share this. So we shared how people can get into the webinar. How can people sign up for the course and when does that start?
Yes, so October 9th, the doors open, and you go to kelseyfoxbennett.com/abundant-living. And once you're there and you're like, oh my gosh, this looks delicious, I'm so excited. There's a couple of different payment options. You can do one payment or you can do two payments that are more reasonable. And when you check out, make sure any listener here signs or checks out with the coupon code SHINE75 because
Yay.
that will get you $75 off of your enrollment.
Yay! That's even cooler. You have so many little hidden surprises. I love it. I'm all about like that little extra surprise and that oomph that's going, and you're like right on that. So I am so excited. So you get 75 off if you use the code SHINE75 when you sign up. You can sign up between October 9th and October 30th. Right on Kelsey's website. I'll put it in the description. And if you are listening before October 5th, I highly suggest you check out her free webinar. And even if you're listening after the course has happened, you're listening after the webinar, check out her website. She's got all different kinds of offerings. And if nothing else, look into Brain Gym and those different offerings too, because you can answer questions on that and hold space for that kind of growth as well.
Yes, amen. I am here to support you. So thank you so much for listening.
Yay! Do you have anything else you'd like to share today? That I think we've covered a lot of really good, juicy things.
Oh my goodness. I think the only thing that I want to share is just an abundance of gratitude. I am so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for this community. And I just feel so very blessed to know you. So thank you.
Yay, that goes right back at you and all the beautiful things you're doing and offering into this world. I'm so grateful that we've been connected. I'm grateful for all the listeners that are tuning in. I ask that you leave us a comment wherever you are so that we know that you listened. If you have any issues trying to get a hold of Kelsey or even myself, send us an email. We would love to lead you in the right direction. And I'm just so excited for everybody that jumps on this opportunity. So thank you for joining me and sharing your beautiful offerings today, Kelsey.
Yay, you are so welcome. Yay.
Yay. So I think that's all we have for today. I hope that anyone listening can stay awake and shine on always, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for shining on with us.